Hello everyone. Welcome to my YNR 24 Spoilers channel. Shocking news. Truce, no more allies. Some significant events in Genoa City are hinted at in the Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, September 26th. A big figure breaks an alliance. Two rivals declare a ceasefire, and someone receives some startling news. What can we expect from Friday's performance? It's time to find out. Jackie and the mustache call a truce. As Victor Newman contemplates a ceasefire with Jack Abbott, spoilers for Friday, September 26th episode of The Young and the Restless indicate that hell may be freezing over. These two have a fierce rivalry that is among the greatest in both daytime drama and YNR history. However, they must cooperate in order to save their individual legacies because they share an adversary in Kane Ashby. The startling news of Nikki Newman. Nikki Newman will receive some startling news in the interim. Is this about a partnership between her spouse and one of her best friends? Anybody, especially Nikki, would be amazed by it. Fans will have to keep an eye on Nikki's news because there's always a chance it may be something completely different. Read this. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Ex-wife's reason to believe. Detective probes deep backstabber outrage. Kane Ashby breaks off a partnership. One alliance is beginning, another is ending. Who might this be? Kane will abandon an ally, according to Friday's Young and the Restless teasers. In Genoa City, Kane has fewer allies and fewer friends. Will he let go of Phyllis Summers or Holden Novak? For Kane, Red has been a bit of a pain in the side. But what if Michael Baldwin is dropped by Kane? Is he aware of Michael's scheme involving Victor? Kane isn't a moron, so perhaps he noticed a connection between Victor and Michael when they recently met in his train cab? Time will tell. Which plot point in Friday's show are you most excited about? Leave a comment below. For the finest Young and the Restless news, spoilers, and updates, watch the CBS serial opera every day and visit SOS frequently. Next chapter, bold move, trap set. Spoilers for Monday, September 29's episode of The Young and the Restless show some intriguing scenes in Genoa City. A heroine makes a daring step. Two characters anticipate a new chapter, and someone creates a trap for their adversary. What can we expect from Monday's show? It's time to find out. Victor Newman establishes a catch. According to Monday, September 29th spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Victor Newman is going to set up a trap for Kane Ashby. It should come as no surprise that Victor decided to team up with longtime foe Jack Abbott to defeat Kane during the week of September 22nd to 26th. What will the mustache do to divert his new adversary? Kane wants it all in GC, intending to acquire all of the big businesses in the small town. To discover out, fans will need to tune in. The following chapter. Nick and Sharon Newman will travel across town to see Noah Newman in Los Angeles. Noah's parents are extremely proud of him as he hopes to operate a bar in Los Angeles. Having said that, the CBS soap opera's fall teasers suggest that Noah will be abducted, which will put Nick and Sharon in a completely different plot with fresh tension. Will fans, however, get to witness the reunion they've been anticipating? At this stage, #Team Chic hopes to witness much more than a simple kiss. But only time will tell. Read this. Spoilers for The Young and the Restless. Sally should have ejected Billy and is doomed for more heartbreak. Claire Newman's audacious step. Lastly, Monday's teasers for The Young and the Restless suggest that Claire Newman will take a risk for her future. What precisely does this mean? Will she choose to start seeing Holden Novak instead of Kyle Abbott? This must be about something romantic or personal because she recently received a promotion, right? Which plot point in Monday's program are you most excited about? Leave a comment below. For the finest Young and the Restless news, spoilers, and updates, watch the CBS serial opera every day and visit SOS frequently. 2.0 of Mama Bear's return. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of September 29th to October 3rd include a number of noteworthy casting announcements, as well as some intriguing situations. Discover below who's coming and who's going in Genoa City during the course of the next 5 days. Jill Abbott, a look inside. According to spoilers for the week of September 29th on The Young and the Restless, Jill Abbott will finally return to Genoa City in person after endless video calls. The character's official return is scheduled for Thursday, October 2nd. However, she will be seen speaking with Sally Spector via video chat during the Monday, September 29th broadcast. Jill will take immediate measures to try to ease tensions between her pseudo-son, Kane Ashby, and her son, Billy Abbott. Jill, good luck on that one. Valerie Pettiford's character Amy Lewis will make a comeback to the screen in other Mama Bear news. Since her son Damien Kane was killed in Nice, she has been absent from GC. Lewis will speak with Nate Hastings on the Friday, October 3rd show and Lily Winters on the Thursday, October 2nd broadcast. Extra casting information. Tessa Porter will continue to dominate storylines, according to spoilers for the week of September 29th on The Young and the Restless. Kate Fairbanks will appear on the serial opera at some point during the following 5 days. Mariah Copeland's recent revelation and request for separation have left Tessa in shock. Although they are only friends, she and Daniel have an intriguing story that is developing, and he is beginning to feel a little more. As Tessa explains her recent behavior, fans may anticipate seeing her share some scenes with her mother-in-law, Sharon Newman, this week. What is the purpose of this? To discover out, fans will need to tune in. Do you look forward to the week of September 29th to October 3rd? Leave a comment below. For the best Young and the Restless spoilers, news, and updates, visit our website frequently and watch your favorite CBS soap opera every day. A comprehensive look at YNR, rivalries, tense truces, startling disclosures, and the kind of shattering betrayals that left viewers screaming at their screens have always been the foundation of The Young and the Restless. The episodes that air from Friday, September 26th to the week of September 29th to October 3rd demonstrate once more why millions of people are still captivated by Genoa City's story. The unthinkable is at the center of the action. Kane Ashby losing allies as fast as he makes enemies, Nikki Newman getting life-changing news, Sharon and Nick getting ready for a new chapter that promises heartbreak, Victor Newman and Jack Abbott finding common ground, and Jill Abbott making a comeback as the fiery Mama Bear, ready to upend the boardroom and family drama. Let's examine how these strands come together to form a narrative that simultaneously pays tribute to YNR's rich history and challenges its characters to explore uncharted ground. Jackie and the Mustache, a fire-forged truce. One of the biggest rivalries in soap opera for many years has been that between Victor Newman and Jack Abbott. Almost every member of the Newman and Abbott family has been involved in their conflict for generations, taking place in boardrooms, bedrooms, and on battlefields. For devoted admirers, the idea of these two men declaring a truce is nearly sacrilegious. However, previews for Friday, September 26th episode of The Young and the Restless indicated that the unthinkable was about to occur. Victor and Jack deciding to put aside decades of hostility in order to work together against a shared foe, Kane Ashby. In addition to being unexpected, this union makes perfect sense. In Genoa City, Kane, played with smoldering passion by Billy Flynn, has emerged as a new menace. He is aiming for complete dominance, not just a single business or personal retaliation. Victor, the eternal strategist, is aware that Kane's ambition poses a threat to Jabot, Newman Enterprises, and the fragile power structure in the community. Jack, who is still wounded from innumerable corporate betrayals, is aware that the Abbott legacy may come to an end if Kane gets his hands on Jabot. As a result, Victor and Jack's ceasefire is based on necessity rather than friendship. Long-time admirers, however, are aware that nothing is ever easy. Will their partnership outlast a single plan? Or will they be doomed in the end by their egos, mistrust, and decades of baggage? The fact that Victor and Jack have periodically found common ground in extremely dangerous situations, only to have those shaky alliances fall apart in spectacular way, is what makes this plot so captivating. There will be plenty of drama as you see these titans grudgingly sit at the same table argue angrily, and plan against Cain. However, this truce also brings up more serious issues. Is Victor pretending to be Jack in order to sacrifice him when Cain is defeated? Is Jack feigning cooperation in order to exploit Victor's resources to undermine Newman Enterprises? The layers of deceit are both deadly and alluring. Fans can anticipate fireworks amongst these hesitant allies as well as against Cain. The startling news of Nikki Newman. Nikki Newman is taken aback by surprising news as her husband secretly makes a deal with his longtime competitor. The alternatives are endless, but spoilers are purposefully ambiguous, possibly to maintain the surprise element of the announcement. The most apparent explanation at first glance is that Nikki found out about Victor and Jack's ceasefire. Nikki has watched the conflict between the Newman and Abbotts for decades, frequently caught in the midst as Jack and Victor vied for her love. Nikki would be devastated to learn that her husband has not only had a conversation with Jack, but has also decided to work with him to oppose Cain. Not romantic, but historic and emotional. It would feel like a betrayal. She may worry that Victor is playing with fire once more and putting their marriage at needless risk, because she is the one who knows the dangers of Victor and Jack's schemes the best. However, what if Nikki's startling announcement had nothing to do with the truce? According to spoilers, the plot may become personal. Could she find out that one of her kids is having problems? Victoria has been having trouble with family dynamics and trust. Nick and Sharon are about to embark on a new chapter in their relationship. Adam might possibly unleash another bombshell because he is always unpredictable. Or maybe the focus is on Nikki's health, as season watchers recall her battles with drinking and other health issues. In addition to upending her world, a personal crisis would put Victor's ability to balance his devotion to his wife with his cunning business plans to the test. Nikki's stunning announcement was brilliant since it was unexpected. It promises to cause a stir across Genoa City and give the week's business moves more emotional weight, regardless of whether it has a clear connection to Victor's union with Jack or arises from a totally unrelated matter. Cain Ashby breaks off a partnership. Cain Ashby's action on September 26th signifies the purposeful dissolution of an alliance, but Victor and Jack's truce signifies the formation of a new one. In Genoa City, Cain has very few friends, and the ones he does have are frequently transient or transactional. He has been following Phyllis Summers, sometimes joining her in her genius while putting up with her interference. Additionally, he has crossed paths with Michael Baldwin, whose allegiance to Victor casts him in a dubious light. Then there is Holden Novak, a rising star whose loyalties are as shaky as Cain's aspirations. Cain then cuts loose which ally? The hints imply that Cain has come to the realization that someone in his inner circle isn't as reliable as they seem. Maybe he sees through Phyllis's constant plotting and realizes that her goal is to dominate him rather than help him. Perhaps he believes Michael is giving Victor information, which would be a deadly betrayal. Or maybe Holden is replaceable due to his lack of experience. In any event, Cain's choice will further alienate him and drive him farther into the role of villain. Cain isn't a cartoon villain, which is what makes his narrative so interesting. He is smart, cunning, and severely damaged from years of feeling undervalued and ignored. Cain is attempting to create an empire from the ground up, using all means required to get there, in contrast to Victor or Jack, who battle to protect existing ones. It is both terrible and exciting to watch him destroy relationships while blazing his own destructive trail. He becomes increasingly desperate with each lost ally, and desperation frequently results in rash actions. Victor Newman establishes a catch. The seeds that were sown on Friday start to grow on Monday, September 29th. Victor creates a trap for Cain with Jack by his side. Longtime followers are aware that Victor never sets easy traps. Being able to think 3 steps ahead and always having a backup plan makes him the chess king of Genoa City. Not whether Cain will fall into the trap, but rather how dramatically he will tumble when he does, is the question. Will Victor undermine Cain's corporate interests by manipulating finances? Will he use a mole to spread untrue information, causing Kane to make a humiliating mistake? Or will he plan a major scandal that damages Kane's reputation? Fans can rely on Victor's trap to be both exquisite and merciless, regardless of the tactic used. However, there is always a chance that Kane might reverse the situation if he is undervalued for an extended period of time. Is it possible for Kane to predict Victor's actions and set up a countertrap of his own? Uncertainty and the tug-of-war between predator and prey are the sources of tension. The following chapter. In the midst of all the business intrigue, a different plotline with a far more intimate and sentimental center revolves around Nick Newman, played by Joshua Morrow and Sharon Newman, who fans lovingly refer to as. On September 29th, the couple gets ready to travel to Los Angeles to see their son Noah, who is planning to build a bar. At first sight, this novel appears to be positive and focused on family. However, spoilers foreshadow darker turns that will likely cause Noah's parents to become distraught due to his imminent kidnapping. Nick and Sharon are the focus of the following chapter, which goes beyond Noah's bar or kidnapping. Fans have been hoping for a reunion for years, but have been let down as the couple drifted apart, momentarily reconciled, and then split up again. They may now, at last, rediscover the connection that has bound them together for decades as a family crisis approaches. Will their romance be reignited by the stress of Noah's kidnapping? Or will it reveal old cracks, causing them to separate again? The next chapter is appropriately named since it focuses on the future rather than only the past or present. There is a chance for real rejuvenation in this plot, but there is also a chance for terrible grief. Claire Newman's audacious step. Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, also takes a risk on September 29th. Claire, who is still relatively new to Genoa City, has been juggling complicated romances and job ambitions. Her career is taking off thanks to her recent promotion, but spoilers indicate that her audacious decision is more personal. Will she break up with Kyle Abbott, who still has feelings for both Claire and Audra Charles? Or will she turn to Holden Novak, whose edge and magnetism appeal to her adventurous spirit? Because Claire's decisions touch on several plot lines, they are intriguing. Kyle's relationships with Summer, Audra, and the Abbott family as a whole may be impacted by her choice. Holden might possibly take on a more significant role as Kane's new ally or adversary. Claire's daring decision might appear to be a minor narrative point, but in typical YNR fashion, it could have far-reaching effects. 2.0 of Mama Bear's return. One of the most anticipated returns, Jill Abbott, is scheduled for the week of September 29th to October 3rd. On Thursday, October 2nd, after innumerable video chats, Jill returns to Genoa City, prepared to deal with the mayhem her son Billy Abbott and pseudo-son Kane Ashby have caused. Jill has always been a strong businesswoman, a strict matriarch, and a ferocious guardian. Kane may be the target of Jill's fabled fury. Therefore, her reappearance portends problems for him. But there's more to Jill's return than business. It has to do with family. Although fans are aware that it might not be possible, she will attempt to mend the broken bond between Billy and Kane. Her presence, simultaneously, gives the artwork new vitality. With a sharp tongue, audacious plan, and unwavering will, Jill is the type of character who reshapes storylines rather than merely responding to them. In keeping with the Mama Bear concept, Amy Lewis makes a comeback and reunites with Nate Hastings and Lily Winters. Fans are reminded by Amy's return that Genoa City is about mothers, families, and the traditions that bind them together, not just business conflicts. Tessa Porter's tumultuous emotions. The final spoiler for this week concerns Tessa Porter, whose personal life is still in disarray. Mariah Copeland's startling plea for separation has put her marriage to him in jeopardy. Her bond with Daniel also suggests that she may be exploring new emotional depths. Is Tessa prepared to leave? Is she attracting Daniel's attention? And how will Tessa's mother-in-law, Sharon, respond as she tries to defend her decisions? In contrast to the clamorous corporate battles, Tessa's story is one of silent sadness. It's just as dramatic, though. The uncertainty that many YNR characters are dealing with this week is reflected in her battle to define her destiny in both music and love. Concluding remarks. Upon closer inspection, the episodes from September 26th to October 3rd weave together a tapestry of forged and shattered connections, strained familial ties, and altered futures. History is being made with Victor and Jack's truce. Cain is the epitome of villainy because of his ambition and loneliness. Emotional gravity is added by Nikki's devastating news. Hope is restored in the next chapter. Claire's audacious action suggests new love interest. Fire and wrath are promised by Jill's Mother Bear's reappearance. Furthermore, Tessa's loss serves as a reminder that love is still the most delicate and captivating battleground of all, even in a city where power clashes are the norm. No plot line on the young and the restless occurs in a vacuum, which is its greatest feature. Every action has an impact on the future of Genoa City, whether it's Claire's decision, Victor's trap, or Jill's return. Fans who watch this week will experience a range of emotions, including shock, happiness, rage, heartbreak, and most importantly, excitement for what will happen next.